I'm worried about Europe, not just Ukraine. That's why I say NATO has to come in with force to flush Russian soldiers out because they don't belong there. They don't belong in Europe.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No, they took Crimea just like that, just also by bombing and frightening people. And then they took the Donbass region also like that.
Yes, yes.
Everywhere they go, blood is running all over and destruction everywhere. And people, children die everywhere.
Yes, Master.
They are soulless. Otherwise, they could not have the heart to do all this to an innocent country, their neighbor.
Yes, yes.
There is no excuse, nothing. Everywhere they went is like that. So NATO better stop it. And if NATO doesn't have any guts to do it, then Europe and other countries have to get together and help Ukraine. I mean, practically, totally, with not just weapons, but also with force, with their own soldiers, expertise and everything.
Yes, yes.
They are pledging to continue to help Ukraine despite fatigue. But still, the weapons don't always come on time.
Yes,
Yes, that's true.
And recently there's some delay on purpose. I don't know what happened or why. And the longer the war continues without enough weapons and power, the more Ukrainians will die.
Yes,
that's right.
More Ukrainian soldiers will die, and they probably will be fatigued also. And on top of that, NATO has to predict something, saying something negative, like, oh, the war with Russia will be for a long, long, long time, huh? A long haul.
yes, Master.
And because of that, it could affect the morale of the Ukrainian soldiers as well.
Yes,
Yes,
that's true.
Then they will feel, oh my God, it's a long time, so they don't feel like it. They thought, oh, it's quick, and we use all of our force and our might, our hearts to push the Russians out of our country. But now it feels like it's a long, long time. The war will last longer.
Yes, yes, Master.
The way the NATO chief says, it feels like a long time, forever.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
Why does his mouth have to always say things that are not conducive to help the Ukrainian people?
That's right. Yes.
That's true.
So I'm not sure if NATO ever will go into Ukraine and help them truly, totally, practically,
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
unless America takes the initiative, takes the lead role and decides that they should go in to help Ukraine with force, with soldiers as well,
Yes. Yes, Master.
and with all kinds of things like no-fly zone, which would be more helpful, and better equipment,
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yes.
all kinds of things. My God, nobody wants war, but this war, if they don't fight, they will be done.
Yes,
Yes.
Master.
Yes.
Because Ukraine is in Europe. All the European countries are around Ukraine.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
If
right.
Ukraine's lost, then Russia will continue.
Yes. Yes.
Because Russia will use Ukraine's property, bases, and equipment or food to continue to fight.
Yes. That's right.
At the moment, they still have a reserve of money because Russia has prepared this for many years already. Because they know they will be sanctioned or be punished by the West. So Putin has prepared a backup.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
So they befriend many other countries, and now these countries are buying their oil and gas as well. So even Europe all already agree not to buy oil except, Hungary. I told you, the black dot guy.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
They already cut the oil imports. And now even Russia cut their gas. But Russia still has a lot of money because China, India, and other countries bought from Russia.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
Now it's cheaper, and they bought a lot. A lot more than before. And the Germans also bought a lot more than before. Before they decided not to.
Yes. Yes, Master.
A lot more than usual before. Now you know. Also, for example, Russia went to Chechnya. They also destroy everything.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
Master, could you tell us more about Chechnya?
Oh. So it's all Russians doing,
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
and that was not the first time. It was the second time. The first time was under Boris Yeltsin. The second time, at that time, the prime minister was Vladimir Putin.
Yes, Master.
He wasn't president, he was prime minister, the second time. And then the first war had already damaged a lot. especially the capital, Grozny. And then in the Second War, they have not even enough time. It was only 1996 that the First War ceased.
Ah, yes.
They settled with a ceasefire with Boris Yeltsin. Boris Yeltsin signed a peace treaty with Chechnya in 1997. But 2 years later, the Second Chechen War broke out again, started by Russia. At that time was the future president, Vladimir Putin.
Yes, Master.
Only 2 years, the Chechens had not enough time to recover. That's why he attacked again, because he knew they were still vulnerable and weak.
Yes.
So Grozny was left as a big hole in the map. The United Nations called that hole the most destroyed city on the planet.
Wow.
Almost nothing left standing,
Sad.
Terrible.
and almost no one was spared.
Oh, goodness.
The first war that Putin led was one of the worst humanitarian disasters in recent history. In 1999, when he was only the second most powerful man in Russia, he sent forces into Chechnya, just a few years after the Russian military had previously invaded under Boris Yeltsin. The two relentless Chechen campaigns set the template for Putin's wars. Russian forces flattened the capital, Grozny.
The months of relentless and indiscriminate Russian bombing have left Grozny a dead city.
By the time they'd left, up to 8,000 civilians were dead. The UN described Grozny as the most destroyed city on Earth. Russia's wars have followed the same pattern ever since.
You can read it in history.
Yes, Master.
And about 250,000 civilians were killed in the combined Chechen wars.
Wow.
And reports of rape, same like in Ukraine right now. Reports of rape, arson, torture, and other crimes by Russian soldiers were widespread and cast as the wholly necessary evil by those forces. The Russians themselves face a necessary evil.
Yes, Master.
How can any evil be necessary? Huh?
That's right, Master.
And one of the Russian soldiers at that time told the Los Angeles Times in 2000, we have to be cruel to them, to the Chechen people. Otherwise, we will achieve nothing. Believe that? That's his words. So in order to achieve something, you have to be cruel, no matter if they have done anything to you or not. At that time, Vladimir Putin, already a president, kind of have a direct rule of Chechnya from May 2000. And even then, after 3 years, they give the Chechen government a little bit more power. But they still belong to Russia.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
And some years later, another Chechen came in, became president, of course, and became rich. They enriched themselves during the time they ruled the Chechen Republic. And he is a very ruthless leader. He's just all pro-Russian,
Yes, Master.
all pro-Putin. That's why he became president. I think he wasn't voted by the people, but it's just like a puppet for Putin. Putin appointed him to be the president.
Right, Master.
This president, his name is Kadyrov. People refer to him as a brutal puppet or attack dog of the Russian president, Vladimir Putin. That's what they call him. Because he earned trust from Vladimir Putin. So he became rich. Whatever he does, it doesn't matter. Because nobody can check him out, nobody can control him, nothing.
Yes, Master.
He absolutely leans on Russian power from Putin. And then he's an absolutely brutal president and feudalistic type. And he uses his iron fist to rule Chechnya. Thanks to Vladimir Putin. Thanks to Russia.
Yes.
Wow.